व्हाट इज मोमेंटम? मोमेंटम मतलब जो अगर स्टॉक ऊपर जा रहा है तो मोमेंटम कहता है वो जाता रहेगा, राइट? यूजुअली व्हाट पीपल से जब स्टॉक बहुत ऊपर जाता है तो वो नीचे गिरता है. मोमेंटम कम्स इन द ऑपोजिट साइड. व्हाट गोज अप विल कंटिन्यू गोइंग अप, राइट? नाउ लॉट ऑफ पीपल ऑल्सो टेक मोमेंटम इन द रॉन्ग वे. दे बिलीव दैट मोमेंटम इज वेरी रिस्की. मेरा अभी एक एम्प्लॉय है, उसका मैंने अभी पोर्टफोलियो लिया था. रिसेंटली आई सॉ हिज पोर्टफोलियो. 2017 में उसने एक कंपनी लिया था. इट इज अप 3000%. ही हैड पुट ओनली 10,000 rupees in that company. The retail investors का biggest problem है they don't know when to exit. They buy it looking at the news channel, YouTube, Twitter, etc. They will buy. Wealth management will play out. We'll have more millionaires coming in, more IPOs coming in, more startup funding happening, more wealth getting created. The number of HNIs in India are increasing, which is great.
इन अ मार्केट जहां नॉइज लाउड है, वॉलेटिलिटी कंसिस्टेंट है और इमोशंस अक्सर लॉजिक को ओवरराइड कर देते हैं, वहां कंसिस्टेंट अल्फा कैसे बिल्ड किया जाता है? कन्विक्शन, डिसिप्लिन और एक ऐसा सिस्टम जो हर मार्केट साइकिल में काम करे, उसके साथ इन्वेस्टिंग कैसे की जाती है? वेलकम टू मार्केट पिलर्स अनकवर्ड, जहां हम डिकोड करते हैं उन माइंड्स, मेथड्स और मार्केट फ्रेमवर्क्स को जो इंडिया के फाइनेंशियल फ्यूचर को शेप कर रहे हैं. और आज हमारे साथ जुड़ रहे हैं मिस्टर शशांक उडुपा, फाउंडर ऑफ वायू कैपिटल और एक सेबी रजिस्टर्ड रिसर्च एनालिस्ट. और हमें बहुत एक्साइटमेंट है उन्हें मनी टीवी पर होस्ट करने की, क्योंकि वो खुद एक वेल नोन पॉडकास्टर हैं जिनके अक्रॉस प्लेटफॉर्म्स 500,000 से भी ज़्यादा फॉलोअर्स हैं. एक फॉर्मर इन्वेस्टमेंट बैंकर शशांक एक मिशन पर हैं रूल बेस्ड डेटा ड्रिवन इन्वेस्टिंग सिस्टम्स बिल्ड करने के लिए, जो इन्वेस्टर्स को डिसिप्लिन और कन्विक्शन के साथ मार्केट को आउट परफॉर्म करने में हेल्प करे. फ्लूइड फ्रेमवर्क और 7 बार मोमेंटम सिस्टम जैसे फ्रेमवर्क्स के थ्रू वो क्वांटिटेटिव प्रिसिशन को टर्न अराउंड इन्वेस्टिंग और स्ट्रक्चर्ड रिस्क मैनेजमेंट के साथ ब्लेंड कर रहे हैं. स्ट्रॉन्ग डिजिटल कम्युनिटी और थाउजेंड्स ऑफ लर्नर्स को मेंटोर करने के साथ वो इंडिया में सिस्टमैटिक इन्वेस्टिंग की न्यू एज वॉइस रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं. इस एपिसोड में हम डिकोड करेंगे इंडिया का मार्केट स्ट्रक्चर, क्वांट ड्रिवन एसेट एलोकेशन की पावर, मोमेंटम इन्वेस्टिंग, एसिमेट्रिक अपॉर्चुनिटीज कैसे आइडेंटिफाई की जाती हैं, इन्वेस्टर साइकोलॉजी और वॉलेटाइल मार्केट्स में सस्टेनेबल अल्फा बिल्ड करने के लिए सच में क्या जरूरी है. Thank you so much for joining us today, Shashank.
Welcome. Thanks a lot for having me as well.
You know, first things first, before हम कुछ और investment से जुड़ी बात करें, I want to talk about something interesting that caught my eye. आपके वेबसाइट पर the word fluid, F.L.U.I.D. ये एक प्रोप्राइटरी फ्रेमवर्क ऑफ सॉर्ट्स है, जितना मुझे समझ में आया देख के वेबसाइट पर. बट इस फ्रेमवर्क को हमारे व्यूअर्स के लिए आप थोड़ा एक्सप्लेन कर सकते हैं, व्हाट इज इट, हाउ इट वर्क्स?
So basically what I was looking at when I came into this world of managing money and all of that, I looked at all the other investment bankers, managers, and सबका एक thesis होता था. And what we observed is that the market is so fluid. What worked 6 months ago, 1 year ago is not working tomorrow. And then we said, why put ourselves in one bucket, right? We should be something where when the market moves in a certain direction, you should also move in a certain direction. So that is why we kind of double down on saying let's become fluid in the market. And if someone comes and tells me today आप क्या करते हो, मतलब एक ही चीज़ पे फोकस है आपका, will you only do growth, tomorrow will you do only value, क्या momentum ही करेंगे? मैं बोलूँगा नहीं, अगर market tells me to be defensible, I'm not going to play momentum in that situation, right? So that is why we built that fluid concept, जिसमें वो whole idea is that we will play with the flow of the market. If the market is like right now the market is defensive, so I will not go sit in momentum because I will lose. But for a manager who is a momentum investor, he has to stay in momentum, and this is something we've seen in the past did not work well with many managers. So we have made it a very systematic approach where as and when the market moves, we try to move with the market.
So it's more of a dynamic approach जो constantly adapt और pivot करता है.
Yeah.
But having said that, you are a big advocate and supporter of momentum investing, right? Especially अगर हम retail investors के लिए momentum investing की बात करें, तो कैसे इसको approach करना चाहिए बिना किसी ऐसे speculation के साथ confuse किए? Because momentum is something that does tend to seem a little unclear and
Yeah.
confusing.
So what is momentum? Momentum मतलब जो अगर स्टॉक ऊपर जा रहा है तो मोमेंटम कहता है वो जाता रहेगा, राइट? यूजुअली व्हाट पीपल से जब स्टॉक बहुत ऊपर जाता है तो वो नीचे गिरता है. मोमेंटम कम्स इन द ऑपोजिट साइड, व्हाट गोज अप विल कंटिन्यू गोइंग अप, राइट? नाउ लॉट ऑफ पीपल आल्सो टेक मोमेंटम इन द रॉन्ग वे. दे बिलीव दैट मोमेंटम इज वेरी रिस्की. अगर आप सिर्फ ऊपर जाते हुए स्टॉक्स देखेंगे तो अगर नीचे आएगा तो डबल गिरेगा. So all that confusion is there. But actual quant momentum investors, what they do is they play with a lot of risk management. Right, so if I am trying to invest in today's market, I will only take calls which are risk-adjusted returns kind of calls, right? So market is not great. Now momentum में अभी भी दिखाएगा stocks. It will still tell me that these 10 stocks are in momentum. Let's say the market is doing bad. Let's say oil will be in momentum, or large cap will be in momentum. But doesn't mean you go put all your money into that and continue doing it. So retail investors का there is one problem that they like to enter momentum because the risk reward is nice, but they don't know how to cut that loss. So if it's going down, you should be okay to take a loss and say, you know what, okay, my call went wrong, this is a loss we're taking, and they don't play on portfolio management. So retail investors को अगर खेलना है तो don't look at it as a single stock perspective. Take 15 stocks or 20 stocks in momentum, hedge it with some non-correlated asset. We do that, we hedge it with gold. Right, but we also did a lot of back testing in the past and realized that when the market falls down, 7 out of 10 times gold has outperformed the market, but 3 times both gold has also fallen down and Nifty has also fallen down. That time cash was king, right? But you can never take such a call even today because you don't know what's happening. Even now gold has already peaked out. Nifty is falling, but so many things are changing. So that is how we have to keep adapting. It's a very stressful thing to do, but yeah, that is how it is.
So there's another thing जो काफी लोग आपके साथ एसोसिएट करते हैं, आपके फर्म के साथ एसोसिएट करते हैं कि आप टर्न अराउंड स्टोरीज आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं बिफोर द कंसेंसस कैचेस अप ऑन इट. तो ऐसे कौन से सिग्नल्स हैं या किस तरीके के आपको डेटा पॉइंट्स या पैरामीटर्स दिखते हैं व्हेन यू कैन मोर ऑफन देन नॉट बी कन्विंस्ड कि ये एक टर्न अराउंड स्टोरी हो सकती है?
So look, we love turnarounds. Okay, I love turnarounds. Personally also I love turnarounds because जो risk reward होता है वो beautiful होता है, asymmetrical reward you get. But if you're right, there are many turnarounds that flop and fall down at the same time. Most of the time, why people say turnaround investing is nice is because nobody looks at these companies. Right, these are usually special situations. Sometimes demerger हो रहा है, sometimes acquisition target हो रहा है, and they don't play out for let's say a year and a half, 2, right? And most of the time, some momentum and turnaround happens with contra investing as well. For example, something has fallen down the most today. Nobody's looking at it. Everyone hates that stock. Something changes because the fundamentals are fine, but people hate it. Narrative is bad, तो वो गिर गया. But then that starts moving up. So if you want, I can give you some examples of what we've done in the past, so that there is no regulatory issue, right? So there was a pharma company. We were tracking it since 2020. It did really well till 2022. I think it went up 300-400% with the bull run, obviously, and then it fell down. I think it fell down almost 40-50% and nobody looked at it. Everyone was angry with the management, angry with that promoter as well. We kept tracking it because things were good, market was bad at that point. So Russia-Ukraine war hua tha, they got affected. Then the promoter came and said, we are changing some mix. We are moving from low branded stuff to high branded stuff. Margin will improve. Now, one common thing about turnaround companies is usually something is changing, right? And the something changing might take 3 months, 6 months, 9 months or 12 months. Now, if you come in today, you have no idea if it's going to work or not. So we usually wait until that inflection point. We never get in very early. We wait for that first inflection point because from that first point to the peak, you can make a good amount of money. Right, so we did that with that company. The first quarter result that they actually proved that the shift of sales came in, the margins went up. We went inside, and that went. I think in the last 1 year, it went up almost 80%, even in this horrible market. Right, so that is how we identified multiple companies.
आप अक्सर quant driven asset allocation पर काफी जोर देते हैं. So consistent long term returns generate करने के लिए, do you think एसेट एलोकेशन ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है या फिर स्टॉक सिलेक्शन ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है? I mean, what is the skill and what should one focus on, especially retail investors के लिए?
I think asset allocation through and through because I've seen this. मेरे बहुत दोस्त लोग हैं जो मेरा अभी एक एम्प्लॉय है, उसका मैंने अभी पोर्टफोलियो लिया था. Recently I saw his portfolio. 2017 में उसने एक कंपनी लिया था. It is up 3,000%. He had put only 10,000 rupees in that company. Now 3,000% is like once in a blue moon generational wealth kind of a system. But उसने सिर्फ 10,000 डाला था और सब बकवास स्टॉक में उसने ज़्यादा पैसा डाला था वो टाइम पे. But this one stock obviously covered up for all his losses. But this is the problem with asset allocation. Many people don't know कि you rather have 15 or 20 stocks, right? But you put all your money in those 20 stocks. Play a different sector in each of the stock. Don't go all in one sector. But that is something many retail audience don't play. So retail audience क्या करता है? Stock specific देखता है, and then the whole allocation is off. Some stock will be 20-30% of the portfolio. Some will be only 5%. And usually the winners are always the ones you never think will win. Right? If you think something will win, most likely they will not win. Right? So I think retail audience को asset allocation समझना चाहिए. Concentration is better than diversification is what I believe. Right?
Why is that?
I don't know, my personal, first of all, if you're a retail investor, you don't have the time, energy, you're focusing Monday to Friday on your job, right? You come on the weekends, you sit on your portfolio. If you are sitting in Monday to Friday in your job looking at your portfolio, you're not going to do your job better, right? So if I believe this, that if you're a retail investor, you do not have the time to look at 100 stocks. You focus on 15 or 20 stocks. Problem is there's a lot of FOMO, right? Your rocket will not take off today, maybe after 2 years, but you see all the other rockets taking off and you get FOMO, अरे ये theme भी हो रहा है, and उसका भी गलती नहीं है, because whether you go on YouTube, whether you go on Twitter, everywhere there's a new theme every single day. Water theme, data center theme, everything becomes a theme, right? So I also tell a lot of people, if you don't know how to do it, give it to a mutual fund manager. Let him take the headache of tracking it. But if you want to do it, you want to play a portfolio game, play 15-20 stocks, right? Don't play micro cap, small cap, and then expect it to do well. You can play mid cap, small cap, large cap, but play for a longer duration of 10 years. But take good companies and sit down, forget about it. You focus on your job, because what many people don't realize is if you increase the capital that you have, money makes money. But a lot of people, they focus on 10,000 rupees becoming 10 lakhs. Now, this is not going to change your life, right? So that is what I believe. So I think concentration is always better than diversification if you're playing a longer game.
Like you were saying, आप कई सारे पोर्टफोलियोज डे टू डे देखते हैं, इतने लोगों से मिलते हैं, मेंटोर भी करते हैं. सो इन योर एक्सपीरियंस सबसे कॉमनली अकरिंग या रिकरिंग मिस्टेक रादर इन रिटेल इन्वेस्टर्स क्या करते हैं?
आई थिंक मोस्ट कॉमन जो मैंने देखा है फोमो बाइंग. Right, I can look at someone's portfolio and say ये कौन सा era का portfolio है. ये if I look at 4-5 stocks, I'm like ये 2017 में market में बहुत चल रहा था, तो इसलिए वो पूरा stocks अभी उधर है. And दूसरा चीज़ क्या होता है, retail investors का biggest problem है, they don't know when to exit. They buy it looking at the news channel, YouTube, Twitter, etc. They will buy. जो बंदा बोल के चला गया वो चला जाएगा. He knows his risk appetite. But I've seen people sitting at 40% down, 60% down, in the hope that tomorrow it will go up. Right? It's not going to, right? Even if it goes up 100%, you're going to break even and you're going to be like, thank God. So that perception is wrong. I think the biggest mistake retail investors do is they don't like booking loss. Right? I think you should book loss. If you have got it wrong, take it on the chin. Cut your losses, put it in something else that you feel will do better. If that goes into a profit, you will still recover it. And you also have tax loss harvesting. The government allows you to take that loss and offset it in the future. But many retail audience, if you look at their basket, I think this will be common with many viewers who are watching. If you have 40 stocks and above, you are in the wrong place. If you have, because everything will be 2%, 3%. If you have something that's 60% loss and above in your portfolio, you should have cut it long time ago. And it's always, I look at it from a live to fight another day, right? If you take it on the chin, move on, go to the next one and see what works, right? If your thesis is wrong, improve your thesis. Why did you pick it? Go and find a better one. But a lot of people don't do that. They sit with their losses.
And how about current market? Because abhi 1-1.5 saal se we are seeing, like, firstly, lot is going on, but market has been sideways largely. There are periods of very wild moves and oscillations. Especially इस साल की शुरुआत ही इतनी turbulent नोट पे हुई है. And what are the kind of questions और concerns जो आप pick up कर रहे हैं retail investors से, क्योंकि अभी बहुतों ने एक war like scenario नहीं witness किया है as an investor. So what are the common concerns and how are you addressing that?
So I think first biggest concern, a lot of people ask me, Shashank, ऊपर कब जाएगा? I think सब वही पूछ रहे हैं पहली बात तो. And I keep reminding them कि भाई, we have seen a lot of problems in life, right? If you are a COVID baby, let's say you've invested in the market from COVID, you have seen a Russia-Ukraine war where we had almost maybe 8 months or 9 months of drawdown, right? It just went down. But people tend to forget the pain that was there in that point. It was bad. It was not good at all. Your portfolio is down 20-30%. But what I'm seeing right now is people think that returns jaldi आएगा, अभी आएगा और कल आएगा. वो एक illusion अभी टूट चुका है because they've realized no. Second problem is many people invested during the September 2024 का top. So many people at that time have invested a heavy amount because whatever profits they were getting, they were putting in the market. Now, most of their portfolios will be down 15-20% at that point. Now again, the biggest problem is you cannot put more money into new stocks. You're again getting FOMO from all the things in the market. The ones you thought were doing well in 2024 is not doing well in 2026, and that is a big problem because the world is changing so fast, market is changing so fast. Some theme I had in 2024 is not doing well today, right? At that point, a lot of people had the water theme, then the whole budget changed, then everything fell down. So a lot of things keep changing. Wealth management theme was there. It is still there, but people believe that, I want things to move up right now as soon as I buy it. And I have this saying that retail investor usually is never happy because if he buys a stock and it goes up, he's scared. He's like, abhi bechu kya, abhi bechu kya, abhi bechu kya. If it doesn't move, he's like, what am I doing with this stock? Why is it not going up? So he's again worried. If it goes down, he's obviously worried, right? So I get all these three. ऊपर गया तो क्या करूँ, नीचे गया तो क्या करूँ, वही है तो क्या करूँ. तो मैं बोलता हूँ भाई क्या करना है, मतलब म्यूचुअल फंड करो, बेस्ट है. I mean, if you really want to go that route.
Okay.
But yeah, I think there is also this law of averages that catches up कि अगर 2 साल खराब है तो तीसरा और चौथा साल अच्छा होगा, बट वो एक पास्ट डेटा से फ्यूचर का होप है वो. मे बी इट विल हैपन, मे बी इट विल नॉट हैपन, बट आई वुड से दिस इज द बेस्ट टाइम टू बी इन्वेस्टेड इन द मार्केट. Like if you can go all in right now because it's a good time.
So for now and for the maybe medium term 2030 तक जैसे financialization बढ़ रहा है, literacy बढ़ रही है, and of course digital portals और इतना access है, what are some structural themes जो आप देखते हैं? Because like everybody else, we also want to know क्या ऊपर जाएगा and what looks promising. तो from a theme standpoint or a sector standpoint, in the next 4-5 years आप किसको play out होता हुआ देखते हैं?
Got it. So see, there are some sectors जो मैं बोलता हूँ inevitable sectors. They have to do well, right? You put any iteration of the world, this sector will do well. So that is how I look at it. So one is yes, your financialization. Inevitable with the advent of geo coming in and internet becomes cheap, you're obviously going to become very better in the future. So I think 2030 tak financialization will play out. Wealth management will play out. We'll have more millionaires coming in, more IPOs coming in, more startup funding happening, more wealth getting created. The number of HNIs in India are increasing, which is great. So all that is going to happen irrespective, and I think everyone will tell those same answers. What we are internally very bullish on is the tech companies that are coming out right now, the platform companies. Consumer tech platform. Again, this is in that story where most of them are not being looked at today. They all came with bloated valuations. Everyone's fallen down today. But a lot of people are not realizing, if you really go deep dive and understand, they are actually free cash flow machines with monopoly status, right? Very soon, not today, maybe in the next 3-4 years, the day they decide to say, you know what, we're not going to burn too much money, we're going to go into profit, they will become cash-rich machines. And if you look at any global economy, whether it's China, whether it's USA, most of their top companies are internet companies. In India, this was never there because we never had internet companies in the past. Now many have listed. So if you look at our Nifty, one is, let's say, Zomato, which is sitting at a very high level. After that, you have Policy Bazaar, which is again very strong and moated. Paytm went from no profit to now profit, right? But that is just the top 3 that you look at from a high standpoint. You go lower, the recent guys who have come in, they're all making good cash, but they're all burning for XYZ reasons. The day that engine switches off and the profit engine starts, they will start flying. So we are very bullish on that. Internally, we are tracking all these companies because we believe that with phones, you know, I feel I'm out of touch with Gen Z, right? So they need everything ASAP, 2 clicks, 3 clicks done. So I imagine the world 10 years into the future. So it'll be beautiful that way.
Nice, interesting. But aside from what you do, tell us a bit about your journey because aapne, you know, you've donned many hats. So, ऐसा कोई career defining instance या lesson या experience जो आप हमारे साथ share करना चाहें, which has really defined आज आप जहाँ खड़े हैं?
Got it. So a lot of things actually. मतलब छोटा चीज़ ऐसा hit करता है, highlight करता है. First I got good education, came back from UK, came back to India, and then I said, you know, job करना है, ठीक है, let's figure out. My dad had his own business, but he said धंधे में मत आ, बाहर जा, गाली का फिर आजा. That was his logic. So I said okay, and I was very clear I wanted to become an investment banker or a management consultant. Okay. Very clear. I won't even apply anywhere else. I will sit at home until I get it. You know, luck by chance, somewhere in December 2016, I got into IFL. That time it was called IFL, now it's 361. So there was a guy who, there was my boss, ex-boss, who hired me for this role. And my starting salary at that time was 50,000, 2016. I was very happy to, you know, I was in Chembur, this was in Kamla Mills, okay, travel every day and work. But the work was very hard because when you work as an investment banker, you're doing like 4-5 deals at the same time. But the exposure at that time was unbelievable because I had access to the Bloomberg terminal for the first time in my life. That is like a box of wealth of knowledge. Learned a lot from all of these guys. And I think 9 months down the line, one thought kind of hit me that however hard I work, 8 hours, 9 hours, 11 hours, weekends, I'm still getting 50K.
Yeah.
So then I said, okay, that means the guy who's hired me is making some alpha on me, right? So that's how my brain weirdly works. So I said, no, I have to be that guy. I cannot be this guy. So I have to be that guy. So the first chance I got a chance. I moved to Bangalore, worked with the partner, another co-founder, my cousin also. We started a company, worked really hard with that for 5 years. And I think in 2021, we sold that company. Then I took a break, came back to Bombay for 2 years. That time my dad's business was growing. So he asked me to come back. So I came here, did international sales in his business, went abroad, met a lot of people, learned a lot there. And then my dad got an exit. So then I said, okay, I'm back to, new. Let's figure out something else. And finance has always been my passion. Like I love numbers. And I had this small dream that I want to become one of the best fund managers in India, right? And I have 30 years to do it. So this was my target. Ki 30 saal hai. Usually fund managers become famous only towards the end of their life because you need some 10x to 100x winners. So I said, let's play that game. Let's analyze. Let's get a license first. And let's go from the start, which is start with your RA license, become an analyst, go one step ahead, then become a manager and see where things goes. So that's why I'm very calm mostly in situations because I have like 30 years to play with. So I'm only looking at my peers in today because that's how I look at the long term. So these are some moments that define me and I like looking at my competition. I love it. I keep track of everything they do. Not because I want to beat them, because I like to learn from everyone's mistakes and tweak my model to make it better. Right.
So, institutional finance की आपने बात की, आपने शुरुआत की वहाँ से, तो ऐसा what did you learn from institutional finance जो retail investors typically या तो ignore कर देते हैं या फिर नहीं देख पाते हैं?
I think people don't know how big institutional finance is. The retail audience को पता ही नहीं है पीछे क्या है. Can't even imagine the money that flows there. The type of deals that happen is unbelievable, right? And you are the bottommost layer of the entire market. So if you look at the market, we all talk about the retail participation, but most of the market is your FIIs and DIIs via the retail participation itself. But the actual public participation is very small, and we always get hit, right? The retail audience always gets hit because something Jane Street जैसा हो गया या something else happens, some big guy comes and dumps thousands of crores. You can't do anything. It is not in your control. But I think a lot of retail audience underestimates the fact that you have to play a game that is understood by them and you have to play it according to them. You have to see where the money is flowing. You have to see what institutions are getting interested on. If all the institutions are going and buying, let's say, defense companies, then understand something is playing out there and it might be longer term because these institutions don't play a short game. But also see how much money they're putting in, because sometimes they put money just as time pass favors. Sometimes they actually have a good thesis and they go into it. So it also depends whom you are watching. One advantage I would tell the retail investors have is these institutions. I know a lot of these mutual fund houses, लोग बहुत reports डालते हैं. Right, they have these monthly reports. बहुत information आता है. They spend crores and crores with analysts and build these beautiful reports. आप वो free में report ले सकते हो और पढ़ सकते हो. And I think the edge that they have versus a mutual fund is they can play a good small cap, mid cap. They have to hold it longer, which a mutual fund might not be able to do. Right, so that is what I believe, that the retail has an edge.
Wonderful. And on that note, thank you so much हमारे साथ बात करने के लिए. Money mindset से लेके क्या चलता है behind the screens and behind the scenes to let us into that as well. Thank you once again, Money.
And thanks a lot for having me.
बात करने के.
Thank you.
That's all for this episode of Market Pillars Uncovered. Like करना ना भूलिए, शेयर कीजिए और Money TV को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए इंडिया की लीडिंग मार्केट वॉइसेस के साथ और भी ज्यादा insightful conversations के लिए. Until next time, invest smart and stay informed.